Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes a todos. My name is Renee Arlane. I work with the Cypress Hills Local Development Corporation, Director of Housing Counseling. Welcome to our special Housing Counseling Division presentation regarding New York City's Department of Finance tax lien sales process. I'm going to introduce the programs in the division, as well as name the staffers, the counselors, and then after that we'll do a brief presentation on key elements of New York City's tax lien sales process. So first, I want to introduce on the recording Rosalinda Gutierrez, who is our first foreclosure prevention counselor and senior homeownership counselor. And we also have on the recording Nicole Gonzalez, who is our homeowner help desk counselor. And I'm going to talk a little bit about those programs that they provide services and run their, expertise, or offer their expertise to deal with issues related to homeownership and post-purchase counseling. So in the Housing Counseling Division, there are 5 programs that we provide, all free. There are no charges. So the first program is I'm going to mention the homeownership help desk program, which involves Nicole Gonzalez being available to help homeowners who may have a need for home repairs, may be eligible for property tax exemptions, or may have some issues dealing with housing or building code violations. Those are some of the types of issues that Nicole will help homeowners to address. And we have like I mentioned a couple of seconds ago, the foreclosure prevention counseling program for homeowners who are facing issues with the mortgage payments that they've missed. And so Rosalinda Gutierrez helps homeowners to work with, negotiate, mediate those types of issues with the mortgage companies that are managing the mortgage accounts. We call them servicers. They're called servicers, and so on. So that's program number 2. Program number 3 is our tenant counseling and organizing program, and that speaks for itself. It's a program where the counselor, by the way, our senior tenant counselor's name is Juana Iris Revis, and she works one-on-one with tenants who are having issues with, lack of repairs in their apartments. Maybe they're behind on their rent payments. Maybe they are facing court cases dealing with eviction or dealing with non-payment of rents. And so Juana Iris works with those types of issues. We also have some organizing that we do of tenant groups because there's like more power and strength when there is a group of tenants who are interested in achieving similar goals or having similar issues addressed. Then there is you also offer financial coaching, financial literacy coaching. So if you need help, like to improve your credit score, maybe there are errors or mistakes on your credit report, you want to get some tips and guidance on managing your budget, dealing with your income, your monthly expenses, and so on. The financial counseling service program can help you to address those types of issues. So lastly is the program where we have both Nicole Gonzalez and Rosalina Gutierrez helping folks, tenants who are seniors, 60 and older, who may be dealing with issues related to like maybe they're eligible for senior citizen rent increase exemptions. Maybe they're disabled senior citizens. They may be eligible for disability rent increase exemptions. They can also help seniors do like affordable apartment searches on the city's housing counseling, the city's Housing Connect website. Housing Connect is a city website where folks who have accounts there can search for available affordable apartment applications, and they can be submitted online and so on. So those are the services, programs that are offered in the Housing Counseling Division of the Cypress Hills Local Development Corporation. Our office is located at 3214 Fulton Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11208. However, as a result of the pandemic, all counselors are working remotely at this moment, which is, by the way, we're recording at September 24th, 2020. And so, but at the end of the presentation, we will, make our email addresses available, as well as contact phone numbers available for folks who may have questions after the recording is completing, the presentation has completed. Folks can email us, they can call our special remote phone numbers and ask questions or make comments also on the recording. So thanks very much for your attention. I'm gonna pass the baton to Nicole and Rosalinda so that they can, elaborate about and explain and clarify how New York City handles its tax lien sales program and what can be done, what sort of options homeowners who happen to be on the tax lien sales list, what sort of options those homeowners can access to remove their properties from the lien sales list and, sustain homeownership. Thanks everyone for your attention. Rosalinda and Nicole.
Hi everyone. So thank you so much for joining to watch this presentation. Like Renee said, if you have any questions after, you can either comment down below on the video, or you can also reach out to us directly. We can give you any assistance you need. Not only relevant to the lien sale, which is what we're going to talk about today, but also any other services that Renee also just explained. So I will give you a short presentation on what the lien is and what the lien sale is. So a lien is a legal claim against a property for the unpaid property taxes, water and sewer charges, or any other property related municipal charges. So usually it's if you owe them for like a specific amount of time. Sometimes people will owe for like years and they won't get any specific lien, but the charges will still accumulate. For most of my cases that I've dealt with, I know they start counting after like 2 years. So then this will lead to the lien sale. Depending on how much they owe, it becomes like a delinquent charge for a period of time. So then the city is allowed to sell this debt to a specific to an authorized organization that has paid the city in advance to be in charge of this property, which I know Renee can give you. You can explain a little bit more for those the one in New York City.
Well, Bank of New York is one of
Bank of New York.
is the main company
entity
that the city has an agreement with to buy like these liens in bulk, like all the liens bundled together in one big gigantic package. But then the city has, I should say, Bank of New York has what we call like a management company or a servicing company. And that company, there are two main companies that manage these lien accounts for Bank of New York. Those companies are the ones that homeowners whose liens have been sold, right? That for whatever reason they were unable to get the property off the lien sales list. Those homeowners will be communicating with those like servicing or management companies.
Yeah, so the debt is sold after the period of time has passed and the person doesn't handle the lien that it's on their property. So just so you guys are aware, the city doesn't just the sale doesn't happen just immediately. The city actually gives a 90-day, a 60-day, a 30-day, and a 10-day notice before this sale happens. And you don't have to immediately cover all of the amount that is owed. One of the requirements for you to get out of the sale, if you can cover it immediately, is that you will have to get into a payment plan. But depending if it's water sewer charges or if it's the property taxes, you will have to go to the specific entity, like or a specific organization that requires you to handle that. And depending on your situation and if you either have or have not been in the lien sale before, you will be required to put a down payment or not. Once this time passes and the person or the property owner doesn't handle the lien sale, it's when the entity will be responsible now for the charges, and the owner will now be responsible for any outstanding charges and any fees that will cover in the future. So that will be something that's like really important to keep in mind. And another thing that gets very confused is when we're talking about these liens, again, is the debt that's being sold, is not the house. You're not losing the house. Is obviously the charges are accumulating. So eventually, if nothing is paid and nothing is covered, it can lead to foreclosure, right?
Yes,
Yes.
the debt, the company that has bought the debt from the city, eventually, if the owner doesn't enter into an agreement or pay the whatever the lien amount is, right, with the management or the servicing company, then down the road they can bring a foreclosure lawsuit to essentially get the court to sign a judgment where the owner either pays what's owed or they can sell the property to recover whatever the debt is that was sold or brought by that company.
Yeah. So we often get questions about people who are either interested in this properties to buy these properties that are on the lien sale, or people who think that will lose their house right away. If they don't take care of it, obviously, like Renee just mentioned, it could eventually happen. But that's not the goal in this situation. We're here to make sure that you don't fall, you don't your property isn't sold, and that you can still take care of it. And I know it's in like difficult times, but we're trying our best. So again, please reach out to us and we will do anything we could do to help you. There's different ways for you to get out. A lot of them are ways that they're very public, they're out there for all of you, but not many people know about. So we will now Rosalina, you want to take it away and give us a few options that people have?
Sure. So, hi everyone, Rosalinda Gutierrez. I do want to say that for people that owe either water sewer charges, HVD emergency repairs, or the New York City taxes, property taxes, in order to get into payment plan, one thing is to pay 20% of the unpaid balance, and that will get you into a payment plan. Whatever the remaining balance is, the Department of Finance would give you an agreement. This is what you're going to be paying, and plus, right, plus whatever your current charges are. This could be probably a little bit on the higher end of, kind of expensive, but we can also help you, like Renee said, we could do financial counseling. We can help you work on a budget so you guys don't fall behind on these bills. So as Nicole was saying, there are some programs out there for people. So if you're a senior citizen, 65 or older, if you're disabled, these things can also help you be removed from the tax lien sale because of these circumstances. So you don't have to pay the 20% down. We will get removed. You will apply for this benefit, and then Department of Finance would let you know what the next steps are. But let's just say that for the time you are unable to apply because you're not out of age, but in a couple of years from now, you will be. We can still help you apply for these benefits. They usually open up the new applications towards the end of the year, but the benefit would begin July 1st. That's that's how their calendar year works. It starts July 1st and it ends June 30th. Now this year, I'm not sure if that's how it's going to work because things have changed. But once we know, we can help you. There's also a basic STAR. That's for every homeowner that makes less than $500,000 a year. Nicole, I think it is, right? And then so that we can help you. So like I said, there's many other exemption programs for veterans as well. And so you just reach out to us. We'll let you know what you might qualify for.
There's also extenuating circumstances, major emergency cases type of thing. Either something happened in the family or actually something happened in the property, something very last minute. Hopefully not. But there was still.
Yeah, but these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, any of your situation you might have or are experiencing, you just let us know, and we would communicate. We have direct connections with some people at Department of Finance to see if this circumstance falls under the one of the exemptions that they have there available, and we'll help you apply to them for them to review it to see what would be the benefit that you guys will be getting for the upcoming year. Now, there's some of them that you would have to renew every year, and there are others that I think it's every 2 years. And that will let you know, which case it would be. And I think there's one for clergy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there are a lot of exceptions out there. If you would like to know more, you could send us an email at the end of the presentation. We'll give you our email addresses, and then we'll send you a link to the Department of Finance, listing all of the exemption programs, listing the guidelines and requirements to apply, and what documents is needed to apply.
Yeah. And remember, so these are ways that you can get out of the sale, but that doesn't mean that you're getting rid of the lien by entering these ways. It's the same thing as entering a payment plan. It will get you out of the sale. It will be the way to solve part of the issue, but you will still have those charges. The best thing about these exemptions is that it's gonna save you money. So the plan that you get on, or any debt that you have to pay, you will have some money extra, because depending on your situation, like if it's a senior, you will get half of your property taxes depending on your income, like Rosalinda was saying. So if you are paying now half of your property taxes, and majority of the people pay over $1,000, right, Rosalinda, in the property taxes?
Some people pay around this area about $4,000 a year. Right. So if you're a senior and you make less than, I think it's 40,000 or 45, your property taxes could be cut in half. So 50%. So instead of paying $4,000 a year, you'll be paying $2,000 a year. And that should be, if you have a mortgage, that should be reported to the mortgage servicer, so they can they could correct or adjust the escrow payment. So you'll see like a reduction on your monthly mortgage, because now you will be paying less on your escrow. So that's another So that's, reducing your your debts. I'm sorry, reducing your debts.
Right. And then that money now could be used for the uh, payment plan that you have or an agreement you got into, and then paying whatever charges will come because the property taxes obviously will not go away, and also you will have to continue paying your water. So we definitely recommend you, once you get into this plan, make sure you're very clear about the payment plan you're getting into. You don't want to get into a payment plan just to get into a payment plan, because like if it was mentioned early, if you may get into a payment plan and you can't keep up with that payment plan, is only gonna make it worse. It's not gonna give you the same possibilities that you had in the beginning, and it's just gonna be more stressful as a homeowner. So I'll just be very careful. There is ways that you can enter the payment plan without a down payment. With majority of the times, we recommend. It depends on your financial situation, but we recommend that you put a down payment, because then the interest, right, the payment plan will follow up depending on the amount that is left uh uh
Owed.
yeah, that is owed, right? However, if you've previously been into the sale before, or if you've had any issues with agreement plans before, uh we can promise you that you could get into a payment plan without down payment. It really every situation is different and it changes, but we will really recommend you that you are aware of the type of deal or the type of payment, the type of agreement you're getting into, that it will be something beneficial. And if you need us to like assist you with that, counsel you with that, to see what will be the best thing for you to do or to be able to afford, we could also help you with that. Anything?
Yeah, I want to also say, I think Renee had mentioned it before, but getting into a payment plan with the correct entity, like, DOF, Department of Finance for property taxes, DP for water and sewer, and HPD for any emergency repairs, it'll cost you less than if it gets sold and you have to pay it to Bank of New York. Bank of New York will charge you more interest. I think, I don't know, double or 3 times more than what, the other entities would be charging you, because you will be paying interest. That's for sure. But it just won't be that much expensive. Again, but once you get a payment plan and you're okay with it, again, we can help you, because it's a new expense, right? This is added to your other household expenses. We can help you create a budget so you'll be kept on time with your payments, that you don't fall behind, because when you do fall behind, like Nicole said, it's hard to get into another payment plan. They're going to want you to either pay all the months that you've missed and continue in the same plan, or it's just going to be really hard or they might ask for the payment in full. It's going to be really hard for them to get you into another payment plan if you already defaulted on the first one, which, because the second one will be a little bit more expensive, because now you're adding on new charges. So again, we can help you with that to stay on top of your household expenses. And I know Nicole mentioned it before. If you have any other concerns, issues, or just questions regarding your housing situation, you could give us, send us an email, give us a call, and we will give you the information that you are looking for.
One thing really important we forgot to mention early was how do you find out if you're in the lien sale? Because a lot of our clients don't actually get the notifications. There, like I mentioned before, you get a 90, a 60, a 30, and even a 10. They notice for you to take care of this issue before the sale happens. But I've had clients who maybe, they misplaced their mail, or they didn't notice, they didn't think it was as serious, or they moved, or they weren't there. So they,
or the property is an investment property, so they don't live there necessarily, so they don't get the mail, right? Because they have tenants living there.
Right. So then how could you find out? Because I mean, better safe than sorry, right? So you could actually just reach out to us directly, and we could help you check that your property isn't in the lien sale, and that as a matter of fact, that there is no other issues in the property, because sometimes you don't get actual notifications, and you could have emergency repair outstanding charges, you could have violations or anything that has been reported on your property's name. So we can help you check that out. So if it's easier for you, or if you don't have any access to a computer, you can let us know if we can search that up. It's a real simple step actually for us. And but you can always go to is it nyc.gov, or you could Google tax lien sale 2020, and it will show up in the nyc.gov site. um and it will give you the options to click on the borough. It will say a download a list, and it will tell you it's either Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, and it will tell you download the list. It doesn't say the names of the owners of the property, so you have to search your property by your address. And then you could search up if your address is on that list, that means it's on the lien sale. If you can't find your address there, then it's probably not. But the reason why I personally recommend you reach out to us directly is because sometimes there could still be charges on your property. However, you're not in the like delinquent period time, or it hasn't been that long, so you don't want to wait for those charges to get to that state for you to get on the sale. If you could take care of them before.
www.nyc.gov/lien sale is one way to get there, to get to the list. The other is to just type in New York City Department of Finance in the browser, and it'll take you to, Department of Finance's website. And at the website, the webpage, there'll be, different programs and items on the menu, right? So you can look for lien sales list. It shows up, the lists are divided into the boroughs, the 5 boroughs. So there's a link for the sales list for Brooklyn, the sales list for the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, Staten Island. Okay.
I also want to mention that there's been several, like, I don't know since when, things been happening, but there are a lot of scams and happening out there. And Department of Finance actually has this great one-pager form to record or to give notification to the department that you want to know of anything, if there's any transfer or any transaction done to your deed, that you'll be notified before your deed gets stolen. There's been a lot of deed thefts. We've done a lot of presentations with other organizations and agencies about this, about deed theft, because once the deed gets transferred, it's really hard to try to get it back and try to demonstrate or show that it was stolen. So it's good this is a good way to kind of having Department of Finance let you know, hey, there's a transaction happening. And again, it's like the one-pager, fill out your form, just getting that notification before something happens. So, and we can help you do that too, or you can search it, I think, on Department of Finance's website. I'm not sure. But again, those are services that are out there that many people do not know, and that would be very beneficial for them to have. We'll do that.
So we will have all of our information in the description, so you guys can reach out to us, either the general organization, or you can reach out to us individually if you have any specific concern.
We will also provide our Cypress Hills hotline number in case there are other, services that you're looking for. We have a resource guide too, full of information that's very useful. And the agency tries to update it weekly, or as soon as something, we need to update something, that'll be updated. So that's good for you guys to have. And I think that's about it, Nicole.
Yeah, that should be it.
Renee?
Great. So thanks so much, Nicole Gonzalez and Rosalinda Gutierrez. Great information. Just wanted to add a couple of quick things. The Cypress Hills website, as Rosalinda just mentioned, has a emergency resource guide that we set up to address issues that community folks are facing as a result of this coronavirus pandemic. And so the agency website is www.cypresshills.org. And that's how you can get to the emergency resource guide. The last thing I'm going to say is that, we're, like I mentioned at the beginning of the recording of this presentation, that we're available to provide services remotely, and you'll soon see the phone numbers, our special phone numbers and email addresses for you to contact us if you need some assistance dealing with a tax lien sales issue, or just dealing with property tax arrears that maybe you might want to, enter into an agreement with the city Department of Finance to address.
Mhm.
So I want to thank everyone for your attention, for attending this webinar, and
Watching.
we look forward to hearing from you or receiving your emails if should anything arise that you'd like some support, information, and or guidance to address. Thanks again, and we're going to sign off now. Have a great afternoon, good rest of the week. Stay safe. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Mhm.